You wake up to a quiet morning. The sun is just beginning to stretch across the room. There's no pain, no illness, no obvious cause for concern. And yet, something feels different. As your feet touch the floor, you hesitate for just a second. Your legs feel unfamiliar. Not weak exactly, but disconnected, like they've forgotten a part of their job. You reach for a glass of water, and your hand trembles, just slightly, but noticeably. That little moment, so ordinary, now carries a question you can't ignore. What's happening to me? You eat well. You stay active. You've done the right things. But there's a quiet shift you can't explain. Not illness, not injury, but something deeper. A slow fade in energy. A little more hesitation climbing stairs. A little more effort rising from your favorite chair. If you felt this, let me tell you something important right away. You're not alone. And you're not broken. I've been a practicing physician for over 20 years, working with patients from all walks of life. And I can tell you, this moment you're experiencing, that quiet sense of change, it has a name. It's real. And most importantly, it's reversible. This isn't just part of aging. It's something more specific, more treatable. It's called sarcopenia, the gradual, progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that affects millions of people, often without them even knowing it. Today, we're going to talk about that silent shift. We're going to name it, understand it, and most importantly, we're going to learn exactly how to fight it. Because yes, you can restore strength. You can move with more confidence. You can feel like yourself again. And you don't need pills, powders, or punishing gym routines to do it. All you need is the right understanding and the right food on your plate. So take a deep breath. You're in the right place. And this is where your recovery begins. Let's pause for a moment and call this by its true name, sarcopenia. It's not a term most people hear until they've already felt its effects. It doesn't come with flashing warning signs or loud alarms. It arrives quietly, subtly, like a whisper in your muscles, telling you something is changing. Sarcopenia is the medical term for age-related muscle loss. But let me be very clear, it is not simply getting older. It is not something you have to accept. And most importantly, it is not your fault. The World Health Organization has officially recognized sarcopenia as a medical condition, a treatable, diagnosable issue, not just a natural part of aging. That recognition matters. It means we can stop blaming ourselves. It means we can stop telling older adults that it's normal to feel weaker or slower or more tired. It's not normal. It's preventable. It's reversible. And we can do something about it. So what exactly is happening inside the body? After the age of 30, our muscle mass begins to decline, very slowly at first. But after 50, the process accelerates. By the time we reach 60 or 70, we may have already lost up to 30% of our muscle mass, sometimes more. And often, we don't even realize it's happening. It doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in through moments. Rising from a chair takes a bit more effort. Carrying groceries feels heavier than it should. You pause before climbing the stairs, just to catch your breath. You start noticing that you move slower. You fatigue faster. You're not in pain, but you're not moving the way you used to. That's sarcopenia in action. And here's the difficult truth. Most people don't recognize it until they've already lost a significant amount of strength. By the time they talk to a doctor, they've adapted to the new normal without realizing how far they've drifted from where they used to be. But let me give you some hope. This isn't permanent. Muscle can be rebuilt, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. In fact, the human body is incredibly adaptable. Muscle tissue is one of the most responsive parts of our biology. It listens. It reacts. And when you give it the right tools, nutrients, movement, rest, it rebuilds. Here's something else I want you to understand clearly. You don't need to be an athlete to reverse sarcopenia. You don't need to spend hours lifting weights or running marathons. What you do need is a clear understanding of what your muscles are asking for and a way to give it to them consistently. The journey begins not in the gym, but in your kitchen, with food. Because sarcopenia is not just a story about aging. It's a story about nutrition, inflammation, and recovery. A story about how we've misunderstood what muscles need and how we can fix it, naturally. I've seen it time and time again. Older adults who thought their strength was gone for good. And within months, sometimes weeks, they were walking taller, moving more confidently, and living with more energy than they'd had in years. All by changing how they ate and how they listened to their body. That's the power of knowledge. And that's what I'm here to give you. So now that you know the name of what you're facing, let's talk about why it's happening, even when you think you're doing everything right. In the next section, we'll explore the hidden reasons muscle loss continues, even for people who eat well and stay active. And more importantly, we'll uncover how to change that starting today. This is the part that frustrates so many of my patients. They come into my office and say, "Doctor, I eat healthy. I stay active. I do everything I'm supposed to. So why do I still feel weaker?" And it's a fair question. Because the truth is, you can be doing the right things and still lose muscle if your body isn't absorbing or using nutrients the way it used to. Let me explain. As we age, our bodies become less efficient, especially when it comes to how we absorb protein, process nutrients, and repair tissue. You might be eating enough food, but your body could be struggling to convert that food into muscle-building fuel. This isn't your fault. It's biology. After the age of 50, your digestive system starts to change. The stomach produces less acid. The intestines become less effective at absorbing amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. And your ability to synthesize protein into usable muscle tissue starts to slow down. So what does this mean in real life? It means you could be eating the same amount of food you always have, but your muscles are getting less out of it. That healthy chicken salad? Your 30-year-old self might have absorbed 90% of the nutrients. But at 65 or 70, you may only be utilizing 60%, sometimes even less. And if you're not absorbing nutrients efficiently, your muscles aren't getting what they need to stay strong. Now, let's add another layer: inflammation. Many older adults live with chronic, low-level inflammation. It doesn't cause obvious pain, but it creates a quiet storm inside the body, disrupting how we build muscle, how we heal, and how we function day to day. This inflammation can be triggered by stress, poor sleep, processed foods, or even undiagnosed conditions. And it becomes a barrier to muscle regeneration. In other words, even if you're eating well, your body might be under attack from the inside, slowly, silently, and constantly. Then there's the issue of protein timing and type. Some people eat most of their protein in one big meal, often dinner. But the body prefers a steady supply of protein throughout the day. If you're not spacing your protein intake, your muscles miss out on that consistent fuel they need for maintenance and repair. And not all protein is created equal. Some proteins are incomplete. They don't provide all the amino acids your body needs. Others are harder to digest or less bioavailable, especially for aging adults. The good news is that once you understand these factors, you can adjust your approach and start giving your muscles the support they've been waiting for. Because here's the hopeful part: your body is still listening. Even after decades of wear and tear, your muscles can respond. They can regrow. They can strengthen. You just need to change how you're feeding them. That's why I tell my patients, nutrition after 60 isn't just about eating less sugar or cutting salt. It's about strategic eating, choosing foods that are rich in the right amino acids, anti-inflammatory, and easy for your body to digest and use. It's about pairing protein with nutrients that improve absorption. It's about choosing whole foods over processed ones. And it's about listening to what your body is telling you, not what the latest diet trend says. In the next section, we'll go deeper. I'm going to walk you through 8 specific foods that I personally recommend to my patients. These aren't fads or gimmicks. They're powerful, science-backed ingredients that can help you rebuild muscle, reduce inflammation, and regain strength naturally. Each one has a purpose, and each one can become part of a daily routine that slowly, gently, and consistently restores your body's vitality. Because at this stage in life, you don't need extreme. You need effective. Let's begin with the first food, a tiny grain that packs a mighty punch: quinoa. 1. Quinoa, the complete plant protein. Let's start with quinoa, a small grain with enormous potential. Quinoa is one of the very few plant-based sources of complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to rebuild muscle. That's rare in the plant world and incredibly valuable, especially for adults over 60 who may struggle to digest heavier animal proteins. It's also high in iron, which supports oxygen delivery to muscle cells. Without enough iron, even well-fed muscles can feel tired and slow. Quinoa also contains magnesium, a mineral that helps reduce cramping, improves muscle flexibility, and supports recovery after physical activity. What I love about quinoa is that it's easy to digest and naturally gluten-free. You can cook it in just 15 minutes and use it as a base for salads, soups, or stir-fries. It's a great replacement for white rice or pasta, which offer far less nutritional value. Just 1 cup of cooked quinoa provides about 8 grams of protein, plus fiber that aids digestion and helps your body better absorb nutrients. Think of quinoa not just as a side dish, but as a daily foundation for strength. 2. Walnuts, the anti-inflammatory shield. Next, let's talk about inflammation, one of the hidden enemies of aging muscle. And one of the best natural defenses? Walnuts. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, which fights the chronic low-level inflammation that silently wears down muscle tissue over time. They also contain polyphenol and vitamin E, 2 powerful antioxidants that protect your cells from damage caused by oxidative stress, which can slow recovery and impair muscle function. And here's something many people don't realize. Stress, the emotional kind, can also break down muscle. That's because long-term stress raises cortisol, a hormone that literally eats away at muscle mass. Walnuts may help regulate cortisol levels, making them a mental and physical ally. A small handful of walnuts per day, about 7 to 10 halves, is enough. Add them to oatmeal, sprinkle them on a salad, or enjoy them as an afternoon snack. This isn't just about snacking smart. It's about protecting your strength from the inside out. 3. Blueberries, muscle recovery in a berry. Blueberries may be tiny, but they're a powerhouse when it comes to muscle recovery and protection. These berries are rich in anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue color. These compounds are potent antioxidants, and they help guard your muscles against oxidative stress, especially after even light exercise. What does that mean for you? Less soreness, faster recovery, greater willingness to keep moving day after day. Blueberries are also an excellent source of vitamin C, which aids in collagen production, a vital component of muscle, tendon, and joint health. And they provide potassium, a mineral crucial for proper muscle contraction. Low potassium can lead to cramping, fatigue, and general weakness. Eat them fresh, frozen, or blended into smoothies. 1 cup a day is a simple habit that can make a huge difference over time, especially if you're recovering from an injury, illness, or just starting to get back into gentle movement. Blueberries aren't just fruit. They're muscle protectors, delicious and effective. 4. Flax seeds, the gut-muscle connector. Let's turn to one of the most overlooked superfoods for muscle health, flax seeds. These tiny seeds are packed with plant-based omega-3s, particularly ALA, which help reduce inflammation and support cellular repair. But flax seeds offer something else essential, fiber. As we age, digestion slows down. That means your body may struggle to absorb the nutrients you eat. Flax seeds contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, which promote healthy gut bacteria and improve nutrient absorption, so your muscles actually receive the fuel you're giving them. Flax seeds are also rich in lignans, plant compounds with antioxidant effects that help protect muscle cells from long-term damage. Plus, they offer a gentle source of plant-based protein, adding an extra layer of nourishment to your meals. For best results, grind them before eating, as whole flax seeds can pass through the digestive system without being fully absorbed. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons to yogurt, oatmeal, smoothies, or baked goods. Small, simple, and quietly powerful, flax seeds strengthen you from the inside out. 5. Cottage cheese, nighttime muscle repair. Now let's talk about nighttime. Most people don't realize that muscle breakdown can occur while you sleep, especially if your body doesn't have the nutrients it needs to repair tissue overnight. Enter cottage cheese. This humble food contains casein, a slow-digesting protein that steadily releases amino acids into your bloodstream for several hours. That means your muscles get gentle, continuous support while you sleep, just when they need it most. Cottage cheese is also rich in vitamin B12, essential for proper nerve function. If your balance has fell off, or if you've noticed tingling in your hands or feet, low B12 might be playing a role. This vitamin also improves communication between brain and muscle, a vital link that often weakens with age. Have a small bowl before bed, 3 to 4 nights a week. Choose low-sodium, unsweetened varieties, and consider topping it with blueberries or flax seeds. This isn't just a bedtime snack. It's an act of recovery, quiet, powerful, and deeply nourishing. 6. Greek yogurt, all-day support for muscles and digestion. Let's move to a food that supports you not just at night, but all day long, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is a muscle-building powerhouse. 1 cup contains around 20 grams of high-quality protein, mostly casein, the same slow-digesting protein found in cottage cheese. That means it supports steady recovery throughout the day, especially when eaten between meals. But its benefits go beyond protein. Greek yogurt is rich in probiotics, beneficial bacteria that improve gut health. Why does that matter for your muscles? Because a healthy gut absorbs nutrients more efficiently. And as you age, your digestive system needs all the help it can get to extract the maximum benefit from your meals. Greek yogurt also provides calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, 3 nutrients essential for bone and muscle synergy. When these are lacking, it can result in poor muscle contraction, brittle bones, or delayed recovery. The best version? Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add your own toppings like flax seeds, walnuts, or a handful of blueberries. It makes for a perfect breakfast, a midday snack, or a light evening meal. Think of Greek yogurt not just as a snack, but as a strategic step in your daily muscle recovery. 7. Fatty fish, omega-3s that unlock muscle potential. Next up, we turn to the sea. Few foods have as profound an impact on aging muscles as fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, mackerel, or tuna. These fish are rich in EPA and DHA, the most potent forms of omega-3 fatty acids. These compounds help aging muscle cells respond more effectively to protein, a function that naturally declines after age 60. That means even if you're eating enough protein, your muscles might not be responding to it efficiently. But omega-3s help resensitize your muscle tissue, ensuring your effort and your meals aren't going to waste. Fatty fish also help reduce chronic inflammation, protect joints, and provide vitamin D, which supports both muscle function and bone strength. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. Grill it, bake it, steam it. Avoid heavy frying or excessive salt. Pair it with leafy greens or quinoa for a well-balanced, anti-inflammatory meal. Remember, this isn't just about heart health. It's about unlocking your muscles' full potential. 8. Lean protein, the daily building block. Finally, let's return to the foundation of it all, lean protein. Think of lean protein as the bricks your body uses to rebuild and maintain muscle every single day. This includes foods like chicken, eggs, lentils, tofu, and beans. These options are versatile, easy to cook, and gentle on digestion. But here's where most people go wrong. They either eat too little protein, or they eat it all in one meal. Your body needs consistent doses of protein throughout the day to maintain a steady rhythm of repair. The goal? Aim for 15 to 20 grams of protein per meal. That might look like 1 boiled egg and a slice of whole grain toast in the morning, grilled chicken breast or a lentil bowl for lunch, a hearty bean stew or tofu stir-fry for dinner. Lean protein is also more than muscle food. It helps regulate blood sugar, supports brain function, and keeps you feeling full and energized. You don't need fancy shakes or complicated plans, just consistency. A little protein at each meal, every day. That's how you build back your strength from the inside out. Now that we've explored the 8 best foods for reversing muscle loss, let's answer the most important question. How do I make this part of my daily life? The key is not perfection. It's consistency. Small, intentional changes, repeated daily, have a profound impact over time. Your body doesn't need extremes. It needs nourishment, rhythm, and balance. Here's a sample daily meal plan I often recommend to my patients. It's simple, realistic, and designed to give your muscles what they need, at the times they need it most. Morning. Wake up with strength. Start your day with fuel that supports digestion and muscle repair. Your body has been in a fasting state overnight. Now, it needs nutrients that are easy to absorb and that trigger the rebuilding process. Meal idea. 1 bowl of plain Greek yogurt, topped with a handful of blueberries. 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds. This meal gives you high-quality protein, antioxidants, fiber, and probiotics all before 9 a.m. It's also quick, refreshing, and gentle on the stomach. Optional beverage, a cup of green tea or warm lemon water to awaken your digestion. Mid-morning snack, light, but purposeful. If you need a mid-morning snack, choose something small but protein-rich. Snack idea. A boiled egg. A few walnut halves. This combination stabilizes blood sugar, provides brain fuel, and continues your protein intake without heaviness. Lunch. Build your foundation. Lunchtime is your opportunity to provide a strong dose of protein, minerals, and anti-inflammatory nutrients to carry you through the afternoon. Meal idea. A warm grain bowl with quinoa as the base, topped with grilled chicken, lentils, or tofu. A mix of steamed or raw leafy greens, sprinkled with crushed walnuts or a light vinaigrette with olive oil. This is a complete, muscle-focused meal. Protein, fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats all working together. Afternoon snack. Prevent the energy dip. Many older adults experience a dip in energy between 3 o'clock and 5 p.m. This is a great time to nourish yourself and stabilize your metabolism. Snack idea. A small bowl of plain Greek yogurt, again, mixed with a teaspoon of honey or sliced fruit. Optional. Sprinkle a few crushed flax seeds. This supports gut health and delivers another steady stream of amino acids without spiking blood sugar. Dinner. Recovery and replenishment. Evening meals should be filling but not heavy. You want to support recovery without burdening digestion before bed. Meal idea. Baked salmon or sardines or another fatty fish. Steamed broccoli, spinach, or other vegetables. A side of quinoa or brown rice. This provides omega-3s, protein, vitamin D, and magnesium, all crucial for overnight muscle maintenance and inflammation control. If you prefer a plant-based dinner, try a lentil stew with turmeric and sweet potatoes served over quinoa. Before bed, protect and repair. This is one of the most powerful, yet overlooked times to nourish your muscles. During sleep, your body goes into repair mode. If it lacks nutrients, especially protein, it may begin to break down muscle to fuel itself. Meal idea. A small bowl of low-sodium cottage cheese. Optional. Top with a few blueberries or chopped walnuts. This delivers casein protein, which digests slowly and continues nourishing your body throughout the night. Weekly goals. Keep it manageable. You don't have to be perfect every day. But here's what I ask of my patients. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week. Include lean protein in every meal. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds daily. Include blueberries, walnuts, and Greek yogurt as rotating staples. Use quinoa instead of rice or pasta at least 4 times per week. These are not drastic changes. They're small, realistic upgrades that compound into major transformation over time. And here's what I always say. Every meal is a message. Every bite is a building block. Choose to send your muscles the message they've been waiting for. I'm here to support you. Let's rebuild. Let's return, just for a moment, to where we began. That quiet morning, your hand trembled. Your legs felt unsure. And deep down, something whispered, "Am I losing my strength?" But now, you know the truth. That wasn't weakness. That was your body speaking, gently, urgently, asking for help. It wasn't giving up. It was asking you to notice. And today, you did. You learned the name of this silent change, sarcopenia. You discovered it's not your fault, and it's not irreversible. You found out that even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your muscles are still listening, still waiting, still capable of rebuilding. And you saw how food, simple, natural food, can become your most powerful ally. You don't need extreme workouts. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to become someone else. What you need is already within reach. A spoonful of yogurt, a bowl of quinoa, a handful of walnuts, a quiet act of care before bed. A choice, small but intentional, to nourish the body you've lived in, trusted, and carried with you for decades. Because here's the most beautiful truth I can share with you. After 20 years of practicing medicine, muscle is one of the most forgiving, adaptable tissues in your entire body. It listens. It responds. It heals. Even now. Especially now. It's never too late to begin again. And you don't need to do it alone. Every time you choose blueberries instead of a sweet. Every time you eat with purpose instead of habit. Every time you say, "I believe I can rebuild," you are already doing the work. You're not fading. You're not declining. You're entering a new chapter, stronger, wiser, and more aware. So I invite you. Make this the moment you start listening to your body in a new way. Feed it with foods that matter. Move it with kindness. Rest it with respect. And never forget, your strength didn't vanish. It simply became quiet, waiting for your attention. And now, it's ready to return. Let's move forward, together. I'm Dr. Narrator's name, and I'll be right here with you, every step of the way.